guys. So today I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my experience at Silicon Valley Comic Con. It's actually been a little under a month now. I actually wasn't planning to go, but my dad had told me, hey, Robert Patrick's coming for a Terminator 2 reunion. So they had some group photo ops and some autographs. And for those of you who don't know, Silicon Valley Comic Con is kind of a newer Comic Con that kind of came to the South Bay area. So it's located in San Jose. The first time I went to Silicon Valley Comic Con was back in, I believe, 2016 or 2015. I don't remember which. I just remember, I think it was their first year, and it was super duper crowded. Like, it was like, for those of you who go to FanimeCon, which is held in the same place as San Jose Convention Center, I feel like this is way more crowded, or at least it was the first year that I went. I wouldn't say nearly as much as San Diego Comic Con, but it was extremely crowded because I think they had some really big names there. I'm trying to think who they had that year. I think they had like Stan Lee one year, and I think that may have been the year that I went, and some other like really big names. This past year, last month, when I went, so it's been like a couple years, but I was mostly going to see Robert Patrick, get a photo op, get an autograph. They also had Jason Momoa there, so it was pretty crowded. Like, I was expecting it to be pretty crowded, like, and they had some other big names. The names escape me at the moment, but I know Jason Momoa was one, and he's also coming to Wizard World Comic Con here in Sacramento, but unfortunately that will happen during my trip, so that's kind of a bummer because Holly Marie Combs and Brian Cross and Drew Fuller will be there, like, for a little, like, kind of a charmed group photo reunion type thing. I'm like, oh, I'm really bummed just because, as I said, I'll be on vacation during that time. I'll be overseas in Europe, so I'm like, oh man, I'm just really kind of bummed about that because it's like so close to me and I won't be here, so that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I guess Jason Momoa is going there too, so for those of you in Sacramento, you can look forward to that. But anyway, for the Terminator 2 reunion, they also had Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's also at Silicon Valley Comic Con, and oh my god, his prices for an autograph and a photo op were $450 each. $450 each. And when you actually, if you waited to buy a ticket, either for an autograph or a photo op day of, it was even more, like $500. So yeah, it was pretty expensive. I mean, I guess there were people that did buy it. I personally couldn't justify that much. I mean, for David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson, I thought $100 for an autograph was a lot, and for a photo op, but yeah, $450, man. Like, when you think about it, like, when he was governor, you probably could have gotten his signature for free. So, I don't know. But I guess there's people willing to pay, man. If you have the money, who am I to tell you how to spend it, right? But yeah, I thought that was pretty insane. But Robert Patrick's autograph and photo op, his photo op was $80 and his autograph was $60, so it wasn't too bad. It's kind of what I expected based on previous cons. The thing that I noticed most at this con was that they had a metal detector at the front, because this was just like weeks after the Gilroy Garlic Festival shooting, which the Gilroy is only like, I think, like 30 minutes or so south of San Jose. So this was just like weeks after that. So they had literally every single entrance or entry point to the convention center. They had metal detectors. And honestly, I was a little afraid how long it was going to take to get in. But we had our tickets pre-ordered, and my dad had picked them up, so we already had the tickets. So all we had to do was just basically go through the metal detector and go in, right? It actually only took about maybe 15 minutes. I think the lines were a little bit longer when it first opened. It may have taken a little bit longer. But but when I got there around 11 a.m., I think on Saturday, it wasn't too bad. So, you know, that's kind of the new thing that the first year they didn't have that, but now because of the mass shootings and, you know, understandably they have to have these things, the heightened security. So, you know, that's a good thing. So they're, you know, you can't really bring in waters or anything like that. You have to confiscate those. So just kind of think of like if you're going to a big state fair or going to one of those things, it's pretty much the same kind of thing. Like you can't bring in certain things and, you know, that kind of thing. So they had that. And actually, when we got to the photo op, we didn't have to wait too long. I mean, there was a lot of people, but I think they were mostly for Jason Momoa. I don't know when Arnold Schwarzenegger's photo ops were. But I know they had Jason Momoa around the same time as Robert Patrick. We actually didn't have to wait too long in line to get our photos. It went pretty quickly. I know a lot of people say that their experience with Robert Patrick hasn't been that great, or like he may have said certain things or made them feel a certain way. And this is my second time meeting Robert Patrick. I met him once before at SpookyCon in Orlando, Florida last year. And I thought he was really sweet, to be perfectly honest. I mean, he is a little bit of a flirt, so kind of expect that. I mean, but not like in a gross, uncomfortable way. He's just like, you know, will make you feel kind of nice about yourself. Like, he'll make you feel good and comfortable, and just, you know, he's just very sweet. So when I met him this time, I was actually with my husband. We got a group photo. He kind of had this photo idea to where like he had the guys out on the side and me in the middle, so I thought that was kind of funny. He was just really sweet. And then fast forward to a little bit later, I had a few things to be autographed. I actually had my virtual season 12 script that I wanted him to sign. I believe it was Resurgence. Where we kind of give Doggett a little bit more of a backstory because we didn't get that in season 11 or season 10. So we kind of get that, and I had printed out a copy to get signed and a copy for him to keep along with, I think it was Clown Car. I don't remember the name of the other one, but it had to do with Mulder and Doggett, like, kind of going on a case. And wait, I can't remember the name. So him and Mulder had gone on a case, and they were riding motorcycles, kind of a male bonding type thing. So when I told Robert Patrick about that, he was super excited because if you don't know already, he actually manages a Harley Davidson location. Motorcycles for down in Santa Clarita. So if you are around that area, hey, you should stop in and say hi to Robert Patrick because you don't have to pay. So stop by and see him there. I'll definitely have to do that next time I'm in SoCal. But yeah, so we waited in line a little bit for the autographs because honestly he really just likes to take his time to, you know, really have that one-on-one, that connection. Like, he really takes the time to have that interaction with you, so you're really getting your money's worth. Like, it's a world of a difference versus going to get an autograph from Gillian Anderson or David Duchovny, because you are pretty much, I mean, David Duchovny, actually, you're able to sit and kind of talk with him for, like, maybe a minute or so. I mean, not nearly as much, but he'll talk with you a little bit more. Whereas Gillian Anderson has a huge following. So like when we went to SpookyCon, and it's probably the fault of the staff there, but they had overbooked the event. So pretty much we were rushed through. Like you could only say maybe one word to her, and that was it. Whereas with some of the, not to say smaller names, but like they don't. Like Robert Patrick, Annabeth Gish, Mitch Pileggi, like you'll be able to sit and kind of have a conversation with them for a couple minutes. I mean, most of the other X-Files actors, and that's what's kind of nice about, like, you know, going to X-Fest 1 and 2 is like you were able to kind of actually be able to sit and talk with them. So that was kind of nice, and it was kind of the same way with Robert Patrick. We were able to sit and talk with him. It wasn't rushed at all. He really took his time, didn't rush you along, and it was kind of funny. I actually had him sign a big John Doggett figure that I had, and it's funny because he said he had the same one. And so I also told him about my script, and I had gotten an autograph from my friend Billy to mail back to her, and she had this cool idea because we did a photo op with Annabeth Gish with Post-its on her asses saying, I don't go home with Post-its on my ass, you think I go home with Post-its on my ass, or something like that it goes. So it was pretty funny. When I had asked Robert if he could sign where did my Post-its go, he kind of asked for a little story behind it, and I showed him the picture, and he got a huge kick out of it, with Annabeth and us, and it was actually a line from one of the episodes in season 9 where Rhea says, you think I go home with Post-its on my ass, and so I showed him the picture, and then he signed it for her, and so it was just really funny. So yeah, and I handed him the script that I had given him as a gift, the 2 scripts that I had given him, and then gotten one for myself signed. And it's funny because my husband was waiting a little further back, and he's like, hey, what are you doing over there? Get over here, you don't want to spend time with me? And he was just like, super, he was really jovial, like, he was really funny, like, and he's like, get over here, come talk to me. And he gave us kind of both a hug, and he's like, oh, you don't want to visit me? And so, yeah, he was really sweet. He was really stoked about the episode scripts, and yeah, it was for, like, I've always just had a positive experience, not to say anyone who may have had a negative experience, not to discount that, but just both times I've met him, he's always been really sweet, but yeah, he can be a little flirty. I mean, it may just be like a personality thing, maybe just, some people just are uncomfortable with that, I don't know. But I just had a really positive experience meeting him both times, and I can only say positive things about it. So yeah, I had a really good time meeting him, and of course the line for when Jason Momoa came out to do his autographs was insane. Not surprising. But overall, at this year, I just don't think that Silicon Valley Comic Con wasn't overly crowded. Like, it looked like when you come in with the lines and everything, like, it seemed like it was really crowded. But once you got in there, it actually wasn't that bad. I remember the first year I went there, like, you just felt like you were pushing through people the entire time. I mean, once you got in, it kind of felt like more like Fanime. I mean, where there's obviously a decent amount of people, it's crowded, of course, but it wasn't like with your like that gives you that claustrophobic feeling. Like, you didn't feel claustrophobic in there, or like you couldn't breathe. Like, the first year I went was kind of like that. I feel like the system that they had in place was so much better, especially given the talent that they had there. I thought it was pretty well done. The only thing I really think that could have been improved upon was like the merchandise. I felt like there wasn't nearly as many vendors this time around. That's the only thing I can really think of. But yeah, other than that, I had a really good time. I had a really positive experience. And yeah, so that's pretty much my experience from Silicon Valley Comic Con. If you guys are planning to go, or if you did go, let me know what you thought below. I'd love to hear about it, and I will see you guys next time.